So I'm pretty sure we are only running 80 kilometers for the whole time. I might be wrong, but I might be right. Alright, well, it's a scenic drive. So off we go. There she goes. There's that. P-set-B release. You know, it's too bad that they didn't put, it's too bad that they didn't put voiceover in there. But what a beautiful, beautiful locomotive this is. The 103, and for those of you that watch me for longer, they know that already, but the 103 is is one of my favorite locomotives when it comes to German locomotives. And there's a couple of reasons for that. For one thing, this was one of the trains that I essentially grew up with. Seeing it many times on the tracks, and my grandma used to live fairly close to the main station in Gießen, so I've seen those great many times in red, as well as the older version in ivory and blue. And another reason for why this is one of my favorite trains is because my dad, when I grew up, had a H.O. Merklin train set, and this was the three locomotives that I remember the most. Really, were the 103 here, a BRDR or a DR Class 83, which is a steam locomotive, and then what's called Schienenbus. I don't know exactly what type classification that is. I think I just missed the Zephyr. Unfortunate. Well, they wanted to go slow, so we're going slow. We don't want to start. So once this goes into here, that's when we have a problem, because we are spinning wheels. Wheel slip. Or slipping wheels, rather. Especially on a day like today. I think you guys know what I'm trying to do here. Alright, that's better. Not again. You can, when the fans are working, you can hardly hear the darn you can hardly hear the Zephyr. Oh look, there's another train. Now you know what I would love to see as well? The old Rhine Express. Or the TEE, the Trans-Euro Express. Those were some beautiful trains from the 60s. That old tap charger, that was always... It's always nice to see those. Nostalgic. I wonder if there's any of them these days still in use. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure how fast we're supposed to go. I don't think it said it anywhere. It just said this is a slow service, so... I guess this is slow. Sorta. The Rhinestein Castle. $700-meter. Wow, isn't that a beautiful, beautiful landscape though? There's the castle up there. See if we can get a nice picture. That's not very nice, but you know. All good. Now, next up, the Reichenstein Castle. It's amazing how many castles there are on this shorter route, really. You know, it also makes me really, really happy that we have all those old trains here on the track and that the track is rather busy. So there is the Reichenstein Castle up there. Wow, foundations built in the early 11th century. Think about this. Think about the fact that the oldest buildings that we have here, pretty much, well, we're talking about 100 years, 120, and those are called ancient buildings then. In Europe, I mean, my goodness, the house that I grew up in is over 160 years old. Yeah, we're gonna keep it on around 80. I don't know how fast they want us to go. I don't think it says it on my... No, it doesn't say it on my schedule either. I guess as long as we stay around 80, that's good. That's a good speed. Oh, it's busy on the Rhine though. Look at that. Rhine, of course, was a very significant, or played a very significant role in World War II as well. You know all the big movies with all the bridges that went over the Rhine. And then, of course, in later years, like in times of the Cold War, the Rhine played a very significant role as well because it was called the demarcation line. Pretty much, if troops would have had, or if Soviet troops would have crossed the Rhine, that's when they would have used limited nuclear. And the only reason I know that is, well, obviously for one thing the tactics most likely changed by now because we don't even have that weapon system anymore in use worldwide. Back in the day, my dad was actually driver and well, gunner, I guess you can't say, but operator of the Honest John system. And the Honest John was a limited nuclear tactical missile with a total destruction radius of, I think, or, well, destruction radius, I'm not sure, but it had like 2 megatons or 3 megatons and max range of 80 kilometers. So it was a very limited tactical system. But that was supposed to be used if the Russian troops would have crossed the Rhine, so... Kinda scary if you think about it, but for me back then in the day, growing up, in a time where the Iron Curtain was in full force, it was normal. You didn't even think about that. Oh look, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, we're getting a little bit fast here. So I'm gonna slow down a little bit. Schönberg Castle is coming up next. And you can't really see that right now, but one of the really nice things of this region is all the vineyards. Obviously in the winter it's a little bit hard to appreciate that, but Rhine, Main and the Mosel, they are that area is really, really famous for their great wines too. So many beautiful pictures. I know there's a lot of people that are not happy with Dovetails right now because they have all these different German, American and well, German, American and I guess a couple of French trains. And they are mad because it seems to be focusing on that, but you know, I for one am glad to get what we have. Like, don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what we have. Oh, look, there's another castle up there, but apparently not a very important one because we're not even talking about this one. Choo-choo. Oh look, there's somebody with a umbrella. It's snowing. It's not raining, buddy. Whoa. Did you see that dude? Not only is he suicidal, he's also a ghost. Well, I guess he's not suicidal then. There comes the fan on again. Look at those buildings though. Man, there's a lot of traffic. And this is a fairly high-speed route. Normally, like I think it's 140 or 160 is the line speed here. So us going 80 is gonna throw a wrench into every train that's coming after us. Now I really like to see that they have older vehicles modeled in here. Like if you look as we drive past here and look down here on the oh, I forgot what road that would be. B something or another. But you can see the old school C-Class Mercedes. Baby Benz, as they call them. Well, I guess C-Class is not right because there was no such classification back in the day. It would be a 190. .190E, that was always the baby Benz. For a while it seemed like every Joe Blow would drive one. Yeah, there's one actually. So next up, Schönberg Castle. Like it's technically Castle Schönberg. If you will. How many more are there anyway? So Schönberg, Rheinfels, Bopperthirten at platform 1. Alright, perfect. Doable. I'll get too fast though. See if we can see the cow. castle. Up there. This castle, the Schönberg Castle, history first mentioned this castle between the 10th century and the 12th century. Today the castle has been renovated and operates as a successful hotel and restaurant. Next up, Rheinfeld. You know what's always fascinating to me is, especially in European architecture and especially in the German-speaking part of Europe, i.e. Switzerland, Austria, Germany. Like how there's old buildings and then in the middle, like here for example, you see parts of the old city defense structures, right? Like those towers that are still around, those walls that are still around from the 1600s, 1500s, 1400s. You know, that's quite amazing to me, to be honest. Oh yeah, they have a vineyard. What's really nice too is you can take river cruises. There are ships. There are now, I guess nowadays more than when I was still in Europe. 90. Oh, I have to pay attention to this. Because if we happen to be faster than one of those and I don't acknowledge them, well, we are not over 90, we are just under 80. But if I don't acknowledge that, then we will go into a forced emergency brake, which, yeah. Penalty brake is never fun for the passengers. But anyways, as I was saying, there is now these relatively large but really flat ships, and they are going over Europe's rivers, and you can book tours like a week, 2 weeks, and you just go from river to river to river and see all the sights from the water. I think that might be interesting to do. Almost like we're going uphill. Oh goody, I forgot to turn the lights on. I guess it's not that pertinent. Oh no, 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 no. Come on, go, go, go. You can do it. No, I can't do it. No, and it was working so well. We're moving. Yeah, that's right. So Rheinfeld's castle next. Well, they said they wanted a slow service. That is definitely slow service. That's so good. Oh, look, an old ICE. An ICE Class 1. Wouldn't that be a bummer to go through a tunnel while we're going past the castle? And here is the castle above us. But I don't think that's gonna be the case. I do wonder sometimes how annoying it would be to live in one of those houses where the trains are literally going past your bedroom window.